More!
Lunch break! Hey everyone, we're here with Dan and Minji. You guys have seen Dan on past lunch breaks before. He works at ISA, International Secret Agents, which is like this Asian American hub on YouTube. Minji here works at Collaboration, which is a nonprofit that has a huge long history supporting arts and entertainment in the community.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating Asian Pacific American Heritage Month with a really special concert in LA. It's called Identity LA, and it's on May 6th.
It's a collective thing that we've all been putting together, and I'm really excited because it's something that the city of LA wanted to do, that we're doing with one of the council members, David Rio. And this actually kind of shows that like when you get people in there that kind of represent our issues and our interests, that they want to do things that are kind of cool like this, because this would have never happened without having somebody of Asian American descent in that office. It's going to be this huge festival concert. It's going to be like an award show, food trucks, all sorts of really cool things. So it's going to be
A straight up festival, real festival.
straight up Asian Coachella.
They actually had one last year too, right?
They did. So this is the second year
Yeah.
that we've been doing it.
Who was there last year?
Last year was Janae Aiko.
Oh.
And Run River North.
I love
Du-
her.
and
I love
Dumbfounded
all
was
them.
there
And
too.
Dumbfounded, yeah.
Aquafina was there.
Aquafina. So we think about like there's not enough Asian, like it's tough for us to like think about like Asian American artists sometimes, but there's enough to like fill up the lineup last year.
Right.
Plenty of headliners for this year too.
So yeah, let's talk about who's actually going to be at this one. I feel like we've already released it on social, and people seem to be very excited about.
Are these acts that
Excited?
Phil goes out and sees?
There's some good-looking people on there.
Yeah, there are.
So the lineup's gonna be, we got Dean and Us the Duo who are headlining. Big deal. Dean's this Korean R&B act. Us the Duo is this pop folk married couple act that they're really incredible.
Everyone
They're part
knows
of our-
Us the Duo,
They're
yeah.
part of our
Love that.
community. Carissa and Michael Alvarado. Giraffage, who's a producer, electronic artist. Starro, this Japanese American producer, a singer-songwriter. We've got Yox, here are the Yox. We've got Chronica, she's part of Selection, DJ producer. We got Tanel, Pacific Islander, Doctors and Engineers, South Asian act. We got DJ Zoe. Club Eskimos coming out from Dean's crew.
I feel so uncool.
I was about to say.
My name is so boring.
Hosted
We
by.
need to like have a hype name.
We
I
need a
think we
hype
need
name.
like
And-
an art name.
I don't know a lot of those names, but I know that a lot of people do know those people. So I'm excited for people to like, because I feel like a lot of the events that we've done in the past have been, you know, artists that we know, and so it's kind of nice that it's like reaching out to like a different audience. You know?
And we keep calling this like Asian Coachella or whatever, but that it's open to everyone, and we want everyone to come. I think the point of these months to celebrate a certain like culture or ethnicity is to make people that aren't part of that, you know, to bring them in as much
Exactly.
as it is for us to know also.
The funny thing is actually you mentioned it's like a legit Asian festival. The thing is that we actually did that before already.
Yeah, you guys are like, well, everyone at this table, we've been in that scene for a
Yeah.
long time, like putting these events together.
Even longer.
Right.
Yeah.
The last festival we had with ISA was in 2011.
Was
And
it 2011?
That was 2011. So oh my gosh, that's 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It was at the Queen Mary. Like we had like B.O.B. and Sean Kingston perform like alongside us, and you know, and you performed too, and like Kev Jumba, Ryan. Like it was a really big event, and like I wonder how many people actually watching this actually were there.
I think that what's so cool about this is that it's obviously evolved, like the acts are a lot different, but everything's kind of evolved in our community. Like we've been in it for a very long time. Minji, you've seen a ton of performances and like Asian American artists have come up through collaboration. And it's cool to see that some of these acts are like Run River North that played last year,
Yeah.
played collaboration.
Yeah. No, but it's really cool to see how everybody's like really taking their own unique style and the interesting names. And you know, it's just like it's such an evolution from like the early days that we know.
Let's take a little stroll down memory lane. Well, let's talk about collaboration. I mean, you weren't there at the very beginning. Like collaboration was when we were still like in like high school.
Yeah.
It's funny, like there's like this really famous video. What's that guy dancing?
David Elsewhere.
Elsewhere.
Yeah.
David Elsewhere. But then what's crazy about that is that there's a kid that is dancing alongside him, and that was Mike's song.
That was when Mike's song was 15.
What?
You didn't know that kid was Mike's song?
That's
So you
Mike's
see the
song.
video,
Yeah.
right? You know there's an Asian
I,
kid.
He has the
totally
glasses.
no, I know what video you're talking about.
The glasses is spiking here. That's Mike's song.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He decided-
I am surprised.
Yeah.
So that was like in like probably early 2000s. Downloaded that video clip off of like Napster or something. or Kazaa, yeah. I was like, oh my god, this dancing is amazing. But yeah, those are the early shows. And then when did you start getting involved with like And like, I guess like why did you feel like you wanted to do this? I guess.
Honestly, also, again, the David Ellsworth video, I guess it's credited to be one of the first viral videos ever of the internet. So this was before YouTube, because YouTube existed. It was founded in what, 2005?
Yeah.
So this was like years before that, and so I saw these videos and I was like, oh, this is so cool. There's people down in LA doing this, like really making a stage.
Because you're from
the Bay. 925. Anyway, I got really excited because I had never experienced that, and I was up in the Bay Area, like doing my own Asian American clubs and organizations, and I was like, this is really cool. I want to be part of it. So I kind of cornered PK. I was like, dude, start a Bay Area chapter, and then eventually it did.
In case people don't know, Collaboration was a talent show. So Collaboration was like a competition, so people could like audition.
Yeah.
They go on stage and there's judges, and then people would win like a prize.
Right.
And now it's grown nationwide, right?
Yeah, so we have city chapters, and Dan, this guy, we've traveled together because he's performed at so many.
We have, but I auditioned for 2 collaborations before I actually got into Collaboration.
Are you serious?
Wait, so
Yeah, I was turned down twice, which is totally fine because if I had made it in at that time, I wasn't good at all.
I wasn't ready.
I
No, but
wasn't
at that
ready,
time,
but-
at that time you thought you were, and you're like, man, screw Collaboration.
Yeah, no, I came out of it, but you know what? I came out of it and like I gotta work even harder next time.
Wow.
And then I did, and
Such
then
a
when I
good
finally got that
Asian.
show, it was like incredible. And then from there, like again, that was the Nokia show,
Yeah.
huge showcase.
Yeah.
And
I
I felt
remember you.
very excited
Yeah.
that I finally made it into Collaboration.
I didn't have the opportunity to ever be on stage, but I was invited to be a judge.
Yeah, you were a judge.
And what's interesting is at that show, that's where I met June Korean. So that's when Wong Fu met one of the members of VGA.
Wait, what did they call it? He was a fetus, right?
He was a baby.
He was a-
That's what they call like the K-pop stars when they're really young. They say, oh, like his fetus.
I didn't know these.
Right? Yes? No? Anyone? What? Like, I just remember, yeah, like when we started doing YouTube or when our channel was getting bigger, this is like still like 07, 08. We went to some collaborations. We're like, this is really, really great. So the way ISA started was, you know, we knew that we had friends that were doing, you know, new media, or they had YouTube channels, or they were singers on YouTube, and we're like, hey, like these people have fans. Let's make a show. No one's ever done that before. I'm confident to say like we were the first ones to ever say, YouTubers, let's make a show. But like we were obviously focused on our community because those were our friends. So
Dance, music.
yeah, like Quest was Quest in the first one?
It was
Yeah, they're in the
It was
first one.
Quest Crew, Jennifer Chung, Tatum Jones, Far East Movement headline,
And Magnetic North.
Magnetic North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like these were all people, and like I remember when we were trying to get sponsors, we were trying to get people to endorse it basically, and because at that time there was no proof that there were fans online. This was already 2008, right? But people were like, no, I don't think people are going to come to this show. So we did it just completely out of our own pockets, and we brought everyone out and promoted through social media, and like 1,000 people came out, and it was like, whoa.
That's how you gotta do
It was-
it.
yeah.
You
that
just
was-
put yourself in it.
But I think the biggest thing again for these collaboration and ISA shows and now the Identity LA is that there's not a lot of things that I think really make people really feel super, super empowered, except for like these big events where we can like kind of like take the stage, people can see it for themselves.
Yeah.
I think live is so important.
See
We talk
it
about like,
physically, yeah.
seeing it physically is so impactful.
Yeah.
And when you see all of these kids or like people going to their very first concert or like their very first event, and they're like, my first event was an ISA show. My first event was a
Yeah.
collaboration show. They remember that for a long time.
Right.
And so it's so cool. And then it draws people that aren't just Asian people.
I remember at that second show, like you said, there's something about being live and everyone is in it together. And I could hear the crowd louder than David when he was singing. I remember that moment. And then I also remember it was Quest's homecoming because they had just won the show. And then now they performed on stage. Everyone knew that, you know, this was a huge step for Asian Americans because, you know, they can dance now, right? Like we saw them win and, you know, show off their dancing ability. And before that, it's unheard of. And we all knew. So it was this big, like, shared feeling of like, we're here now.
It just kind of kept growing. Like, you know, we're like, oh, let's take it to other cities. So we went to New York, we went to San Francisco, and Seattle. New York, though, in 2010, that was a huge moment because that's when Ted proposed
Yeah.
on stage. Before we went on the trip, like Ted told us, like, I'm gonna do it on stage, and like I just remember just thinking, like, that's so not Ted, first
Right.
of all, right? Because Ted's very like quiet and kind of shy.
I think I talked about this before, but do you remember why he did it like that?
I think he
know
said
the
that she would
backstory?
like it.
Yeah. So that's also so Ted, but he did it in front of like 2,000 people, and it was because he knew that she would enjoy that.
So I wonder who's gonna get proposed to at Identity LA.
There may be. We've had proposals at collaboration shows, and that's the crazy thing because we have our city chapters as well, and then we've had collaboration couples come out of being on staff together. Shared interest, you guys.
Right. Who's
Shared
going to
interest.
meet at this festival, and then like in a couple of years, they're going to look back on it and say, "I was watching Us the Duo," and then
What a
Now
perfect
I'm a duo.
setting.
I poked
by the
eyes
way.
at you.
I always wanted to watch Us the Duo, and I'm not talking about the band. That's my line.
Future skit.
That's how, and she just slowly turns.
Taylor laughed.
But yes, I hope people will have fun at this concert, whether it's romantic or platonic.
And then not only are we doing the festival, but we're going to be doing a lot of other cool things during Asian Pacific Heritage Month. We're going to be doing a big digital film shootout. We did it last year. And so we're opening it up to fans to submit short films to bring them out. And then we're going to be doing a charity basketball game. Very excited. Our fourth charity basketball game.
There's been 4.
We've done 4 of them. And then finally, we're going to be doing something, hopefully, with more community members throughout the month and just partnering up and just building that community.
Yeah.
It's important.
If you want more information on those events, check the links below. We would love for you guys to submit into the film shootout and also go to the basketball game.
For everyone that's watching that isn't from the States, I hope this was a little enlightening. You know, our population is small here, but we're very vocal and very proud of our cultures.
We have to stand up for ourselves over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are such a like, small demographic, and it's good for us to like get together and be like, hey, we still have one common collective goal here, which is to be seen and to be heard.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's invited. We want to see you there.
So real quick, Minji, where can people find more about you and what you're doing with collaboration?
People can find me. My handle is at Minji. Collaboration is collaboration with a K. We also have events all over North America with our city chapters, and we have our events in Los Angeles later in the fall and in the summer. So hope you'll follow, check us out. We love these guys. We like work together and have fun.
You also have a podcast.
Yeah, we also have a podcast that Phil's been on that we It's called the Collab Cast. It's a weekly podcast to talk about Asian American culture, pop culture, lifestyle, dating, parents, all of the things.
So find a collaboration chapter in your city, get involved, or if you're an artist, go out for one of their events, go support, or audition at least
It's all
twice.
stepping stones.
And
You
then
guys
you'll get
gotta
At
keep
least
us,
twice
like,
before getting in, yeah. And then Dan, I feel like you plugged enough things, so
Dan, aka Dan. Dan.
Dan.
ISA TV.
bye guys.
Bye.
See you at the events.